Alright fellas, just keep eating. Please don't trample me. You guys left a bit of a mess here. It is super soft. Oh boy. Babies. Gonna stay wide. Nice and clear of these guys. Not to anger mom. Have a good day, ladies. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you might be able to tell, I'm in the mountains today, back in the English Lake District, but today it's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually not planning on pitching a tent on one of these peaks, but instead a cave. I've been wanting to visit this place for quite some time, but I haven't, just because it's actually quite popular and I always try to avoid people on these camps. I'm actually already about 1.5 miles into this hike. I was a bit quiet because that first half is all through basically farmland in the valley there. So not too much to see, but I'm starting to make my way up into the mountains now. And we're actually heading up off into that direction to hopefully find this cave and to spend the night in it. Should be a good trip. Let's get hiking. Kind of nice being in a different area of the Lake District. Most of the time I'm hiking in areas that don't have very many trees, so it's kind of nice being in an area with some trees, waterfalls. It's really pretty. It only just turned spring about a week ago, so things are starting to come back. You can see a lot of the bracken is still dead, but that should be coming back soon. And the trees still don't have any leaves on them, but all in good time. What a cool spot. Whew. Starting to work up quite the sweat. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Time to go. The reason I had my waterproof coat on was because the forecast said it's gonna rain between 1 and 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I just assumed I was gonna get wet. But it's looking pretty good. I don't want to jinx myself, but I see some blue skies. It's definitely overcast, but no rain so far. That'll give you an idea of the valley I was down in for that first 1.5 miles hiking through there, through some farmland. If I'm not mistaken, should be able to get a view of the cave pretty soon. The cave I'm looking to camp in tonight should be, yep, there it is, right there. So we're gonna be heading up along here and then through up to that peak. It's definitely an area where you need to be careful. There have actually been, well, at least one death that I know of from someone falling off that cliff. I don't know if you can tell, but there's quite a big cliff right underneath the cave. So you definitely have to be cautious. But let's just cross our fingers no one else is up there. And if not, it'll be home for the night. I'm still about 1 mile away, but we're definitely getting closer to it. It looks a bit far away on the GoPro. I'm just trying to keep an eye out to see if I see any movement. It's a little too far for me to see. Gosh, I'm nervous though. In the spot that I parked, there were, I don't know, there's quite a few cars, at least 7. So I've seen a few people walking back towards the farm, just walking around the body of water that's in that area. That's why I haven't done this one. I just don't want to camp with anyone in the cave. And so I'm gonna go there regardless. But if someone's already there, I'm just gonna move on, try to find a different spot. But I do have a bivvy today, so I'm really hoping no one's there. That's why I've avoided coming here, even though I've wanted to come here for a few years now, just because I like the solitude. Ooh, this area is quite rocky. So we're getting closer, pretty much straight ahead. Just down from the top of it's the cave. Oh, I just noticed some kind of structure here too. Maybe an old shepherd's hut. Slow and steady. So I've gotten a couple questions about this. So you don't typically see this when I'm filming with it, but I use my tripod as a trekking pole, which helps a ton when you're going up like this. Or even down. Ooh, almost there. Pretty much just straight up. I'm gonna go this way and then zig around. This has been a leg pumper. So I think I last talked to you guys way down there. There's the valley. We're heading up there. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but there's a cave right there. So we gotta go up a little ways more and then we're gonna cross over to it. Apparently the path is pretty narrow, so you got to be careful. I don't hear anyone, so hopefully we have it all to ourselves. That would be awesome. Whew. All right. It's beautiful up here. Wow, that's a great spot just right here. Pitch a tent with these views. But we're heading up there. And wow, from the looks of it, what I read is correct. That path looks narrow to non-existent. Things always look worse further away though. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's get there. Making my way over to it. You can see you definitely have to be careful. A lot of loose rock getting up to that ledge. Good thing though, I don't know if you guys can hear it on the GoPro, but just off that way a little ways, I can actually hear running water, which is good. So I'll be able to backtrack a little bit later and get some water. But let's first get to this cave. You can see there's kind of a path, so I must be on the right spot. According to my GPS, I am, so I think this is it. Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy. You do not want to fall. Probably wouldn't want to do this if it was raining either. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through there and up, but be really careful of this spot. sheer drop right there. Ooh. That is sketchy. Here it is. Very cool. What an absolutely incredible place. This is cool. Look at this. It's actually cleaner than I expected as well. You can see people have created some kind of rock wall here. Looks like an old air mattress. I might shake that off and actually put my bivvy there. It looks like some people have had a fire pit, but it's actually relatively clean, which is awesome. But look at this view. Wow. That's where I'll be sleeping tonight. And that's the view. What a cool spot. I am so excited for this. It's 4:30. So we just had daylight savings, so it doesn't even get dark until 7:30. So that means I have a good 3 hours before it gets dark. 3.5 hours of hikeable light. So if I don't see anyone pretty soon, I think I'll have the place all to myself tonight. If someone does happen to show up though, I'll probably be the one to move on, just because I don't really like camping with anyone. But this is home for the night. Let's get settled in. It's pretty grimy in the actual cave itself. So until I can get that knocked off and cleaned a bit, I'm going to go ahead and just set my pack here. So happy with this spot. This is awesome. The view from up here is amazing. You can actually see Helvellyn off in the distance too. Alright, let's see if we can get it cleaned up. Alright, step one. My bivvy's actually quite long, so I actually may have to move some of these rocks over just a bit. It looks like quite a few of them fell. Under here. Oh wow. You can see why they put this here. Looks like people have had a fire or something. There's just a lot of nastiness, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my bivvy on top of this. There's a lot of jagged rocks and stuff too, so that'll just kind of help protect my sleeping pad. And that's why I like to bring a bivvy as well, especially if I'm gonna be in a rocky area like this. Just give me that little bit of extra protection. So I'm going to go ahead and shake this off, loose rocks off, then I can set up camp. I think that's good enough. Definitely got to be careful. You take one wrong step, and that is a long way down. I can see why people have gotten hurt up here. Alright, so I've got that area clear. It seems like it's covered in soot from that fire. Maybe when some of the winds were blowing around, it kind of just coated everything. So I actually brought a ground sheet just in case, because I knew I'd be pitching on bare rock. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little ground sheet down as well. And that'll just kind of give me not only extra protection, but also keep some of the soot off everything. Yeah, that'll just be a little bit nicer. Keep hitting my head on the ceiling. Let's go ahead and get the bivvy out. I'm setting up a little bit early, but I have a feeling no one's coming up here, or at least that's the hope. So I'm going to take the chance and go ahead and set up. super excited to show you this cook set today. It's not a Trangia though. It's really cool. But more on that later. I'm going to be using the Alton Walkabout swag. I've been using the Outdoor Research bivvy for, God, forever. So I was due for a new bivvy. That bivvy's nice and it's been fantastic. It's super light, but it's one of the bivvies where you have to crawl in from the top. This one you just kind of lay in. It's more of like a mini tent. So really excited about it. It'll give me a bit more space to move around. I can actually store my pack inside the bivvy. It has 3 poles, and typically you do have to kind of stake it out in order to get a really good pitch. However, I can't do that. It's rock solid ground here, so I'm going to use probably some of these stones to anchor the ends, and that way I'll be able to get a solid pitch with it. I've used it once so far, but I haven't filmed a video with it yet, so excited to show you guys. I waited probably a year for this thing to come out. This is version 2 of it as well. Normally you would stake it out, but like I said, I won't be able to do that, so I'm going to use rocks to anchor it. Alright, yeah, this is going to work well. Alright, that's not going anywhere. So what's nice about this bivvy is you've got 2 layers, the waterproof breathable layer and then this mesh layer. So if it's super buggy and you're underneath something like I am, or you have a tarp, which is typically something I always bring when I bring a bivvy. In this case I'm using it as a ground sheet, but you could just leave it like this and have it completely mesh. So it'll be a heck of a lot more breathable than normal. I probably will not even zip this up. I'll probably actually leave this open as well tonight too, since I'm in a cave and there's plenty of protection above me. There's supposed to be a little bit of rain, but it hasn't come, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get pretty lucky here. And even if it did, I have enough protection. It's not windy, so it should be fine. It's early spring. There's no bugs or anything like that either, so nothing to worry about. So I'm probably not going to keep my backpack in here, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can actually fit it inside, and there's actually plenty of room for a large mat as well. Yeah, pack slides in the front, and then the large pad probably ends right about here. So you have plenty of room to actually lay in there and keep your bag in there, and there's enough room on the sides for your boots. I don't need to do that tonight because I'm in a cave tonight, so I have plenty of coverage, so I'm actually just going to take it out and keep the space inside open, so I just have more room to hang out. What a cool spot. Alright, here it is all set up. That's home for tonight. And this is the view. Such a cool spot. Really excited for this. I keep whacking my head on this top thing though. I gotta be careful. Man, this turned out to be fantastic. Rains never came, although it would have been kind of cool to be in here when it was raining. Yeah, cave camp. Haven't done one of these in a long time, so super excited for it. But it's going on almost 6 o'clock now. I think sunset's around 7:30, and we have got to go down there to get some water. I can see a small stream there, but I can actually hear a little bit further. I can hear running water, which is actually going down that, and that's where we came from, down in the valley there. So I think I'm gonna make the trek over to the running water just to fill up before it gets dark, and then we'll come up and probably start cooking. Let's go get some water. Sun's coming out and everything. Wow. What an evening this is turning out to be. And I should, if I'm not mistaken, should get a nice sunrise off in this direction out of the mouth of the cave tomorrow. So we got to go back down this. Was a bit tricky, but it'll be a lot easier without a pack. There's a couple parts where you really got to watch your step because it is a sheer drop down. This area is pretty neat also. As I said a bit earlier, you can see how people have gotten hurt up here. That is straight down, so you do not want to be hanging out right here at night. It's a long way down. That's the cave where we're staying tonight. Really cool. All right, let's go down and get water. Long way to come just for some water. It's okay. Only need to make one trip, and the weather's fantastic, so very thankful for that. Well, there's a water source right there, but that's looking pretty gross. And there's kind of sitting water here. I think if I used my filter there, I'd be fine, but I can hear running water, so there's no sense in not just walking a little bit further and getting water that's probably much better. All right, here we go. Nice. Much better. Water in hand, time to get back up there. That's where we're going again. If I didn't have this routed, I don't think I would have found it, to be honest. I would know where it is, but this isn't the kind of terrain you really typically just explore with a backpack on, unless you kind of know where you're going. These are the areas that get a little bit sketchy. So you gotta go up and over this, and then there's one more area. It's just so peaceful up here. A fantastic view. I'm really happy I made the trip up. Like I said earlier, I've been wanting to do this camp for a really long time. I'm just always worried that someone will be up here when I try to camp up here, or that someone will come. It's already 6:30, so we have an hour until sunset. I can actually see the trail I took coming up here, and there's no one on it, so I highly doubt anyone's coming this way, unless someone came the other way around Dove Crag, but highly doubt it. Alright, let's go ahead and start cooking. I have something really cool I want to show you guys tonight. So today, I'm going to be cooking with an oven. So this is super cool. I got this maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It's the Hajka oven, developed by this guy named Eric in Sweden. But basically, at least from my testing, it's an oven, and it works just like an oven. So I've baked all kinds of things in this, from biscuits to cookies to cinnamon buns, all kinds of stuff. So super excited to use it today. So it's a little difficult to move around in this area, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try to cook outside the cave, also where things aren't covered in soot, so let's do that. Alright, I think this spot will do. There's a nice spot to sit here in a place where I can put the oven, and I can maybe chop in one of these areas. Tonight I'm going to be making stuffed peppers, something I would never make while camping because you need an oven for it. So first thing, we're going to need to get the peppers ready, and I'm going to get those in the oven to start softening them while I get all the other ingredients chopped and ready. So this dish is actually the baking dish, but it has a ceramic coating, really good ceramic coating actually, and you can bake cakes in it, or you can use it like I did as a skillet. All right, there it is. Never in a million years did I think I would make stuffed peppers on a mountain in a cave, or right outside of a cave. This oven is amazing. And actually, I'm gonna use it one more time tonight, and I'm gonna do something I typically don't do at camps. After I'm done with dinner, I'm gonna make dessert, which is super cool. So I'm very excited about that. All right, let's dig in. Stuffed peppers. Oh man. Such an easy dish to make, especially for a family. Oh, you know what? Actually, while I'm eating this, I might as well get my dessert going. That way it'll be done by the time I'm done eating. For dessert, I'm actually going to make cookies. And to do that, I'm going to use what I've found that works best so this is for like normal baking like I did tonight. So what you can do is you can actually take this out and put this on for pizzas. But what I've found for baking, you can actually bake in here, but if you leave this in and actually put the pizza attachment on, this is kind of a foolproof way of not burning any of your baked goods. And you can actually put a piece of baking paper on top. And I just gotta start the stove again. So you want to put it on the absolute lowest setting. And on top of the baking paper, you just put your cookie dough. So these are just pre-made cookie dough balls. And what's awesome about this is you put it at the absolute lowest setting, so you're using very little gas, and it'll take exactly 14 minutes, which is exactly the same amount of time that I would cook it in my oven at home, which is super cool. Set timer 14 minutes. Alright, so by the time those are done, I should be done with dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and let the cookies cool down, and while that's happening, straighten up a little bit, and then I'm actually going to get a fire going. But I'm not going to do it with wood or anything like that would scar this cave. I'm actually going to use my stove, which can act as a campfire. Temperature is starting to drop pretty quick though. I'm going to go ahead and get my puffy on. Just wanted to show you, look how perfectly they cook. Not burnt at all. So cool. Alright. Cool enough to move now. Go ahead and take this so I can get the fire going. So I'm using the Firebox wood flame gas burner, and what's unique about it, I used it last year on a pack rafting trip, so if you saw that video, you've seen this before, but it's unique because there's actually a collar which allows you to control the amount of oxygen that gets into the stove, so you can actually close it off and use this stove as a fire pit. So this is going to be my campfire tonight. That's why I brought the bigger fuel canister, which doesn't even feel like I've used it. The oven's so efficient, and I can adjust the flame so I can make it small or large. Let's go ahead and enjoy one of our cookies here. I guarantee this is the first time that this cave has ever smelled like fresh baked cookies. So cool. Gonna try to add a tiny bit more light around the cave. Alright guys, just been hanging out a bit. I did bring a beer tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy that. It's actually getting kind of late though. It's actually already 9 o'clock. So I'll probably enjoy this, and then I'll go ahead and set up the sleep system, and then I'll probably get to bed pretty early tonight. Cheers. Really enjoying this camp. There's something so primal about being in a cave on the side of a mountain with a fire. I really love this stove. It's the only stove I know of where you can actually adjust the airflow. Being able to adjust the oxygen intake based on your altitude, or doing it to create a flame like this so you can simulate a fire. Pretty cool. I love the glow it creates on the cave ceiling. I brought my Zimbibwe system, but I just brought the quilt and the mattress. As you can see, the backpack fits easily in there with plenty of room for stuff on the sides and whatnot, which is nice. Alright guys, been hanging out for a while. It is 10 o'clock, sunrise is around 6:30 a.m. now, and it's going to be straight out the mouth of the cave. I'll be able to see it, so I'm going to get a lot of light pretty early. I do want to be awake for it. Should be pretty awesome if the skies are clear like they're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. Absolutely love it. I've got to find more caves. Such a cool spot. Alright, I'm just going to go lay in bed, look out at the stars. It's completely clear. And I will catch you guys in the morning. Such a comfy setup. Just to give you guys an idea of the size in here, as you can see, about 1.5 feet to the apex of this, so you can easily kind of move around in here. And then I have tons of space. I'm not even touching the end of it where my bag is, so really good space in here. Got all my stuff back there. All right, go to bed. Good night.
It's gotten quite chilly. Actually, it feels freezing. Get my coat on.
What a great morning. Nice to warm the hands.
This technically doesn't fit. There's a tiny bit on the top there that elevates it just enough. Unfortunately, I've run out of the good coffee, so I gotta use one of these terrible little sachets of instant coffee. Cheers, guys. Starting to pack up this firebox stove. Really a fantastic option in combination with a big fuel. I have tons of fuel in this too still, but in combination with a fuel canister, the 230 gram one is just like an alternative to a fire if you're in an area where you're not allowed fires. Awesome. Really enjoyed that last night, and I had it going for quite a while. Absolutely zero condensation last night, but I did keep the mesh part open. I went to bed with it completely open, but then a breeze kicked up and it got quite chilly, so I just closed the mesh part to kind of block some of the breeze, but I left the top cover off, and yeah, bone dry inside, even where my head was. Really enjoying this bivvy. It's a nice cross between a bivvy and a tent. You get the space savings of a bivvy, small footprint, but it definitely has enough room where it doesn't feel like your typical claustrophobic bivvy, which is really nice. Plenty of room to move around and whatnot. I do think this quilt is a little overkill. This is the negative 12 degree quilt. It did not get that cold. I need to get the next one up. I think it's like the negative 2 or 3 or something like that. This is one of those spots where I think I could stay for a couple days easy. Just go out and explore the fells. Maybe that peak over there. Do day trips and come back here. If it wasn't such a popular spot, I bet you could. And leave your kit here. go. This DD Magic carpet is such a useful piece of gear. Leave no traces always. That was the mat that was here. Such a cool cave with stunning views. Really love this camp. I'm so happy I finally got to do this. I've been wanting to come to this cave for a long time. Awesome spot. All right, let's get back down. Once you get past that tiny sketchy part down there, it's actually a nice little walkway that's been created up here. Wow, what a spot. Such a cool cave. There it is, up there. Wow, it looks crazy getting there from down here, but it's actually not too bad. But as you can see, straight down from the cave is just sheer drop. So it was definitely one of those places at night I didn't go walking too far outside of the cave. Don't want to make that fall. So now I'm just beginning the descent down. It's pretty much downhill all the way till I get back to the farmland in that valley off in the distance. If you can see it down there, I'll probably get back with you guys when we get down there towards the stream. All right, we've gotten back down to the stream. We're just heading off in that direction into the valley. What a phenomenal morning. Not a cloud in the sky. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's just cool enough where you're not sweating too much from the hike, which is great. I'll be careful with this. All right, guys, I'm almost down. So you can see off in the distance, the farmland kind of starts, and then I have to hike basically around this peak. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. What an absolutely fantastic camp. I could not have been happier. I got to fly the drone, had a nice meal, baked cookies. Got to check out the cave that I've been wanting to check out for quite some time, and I had it all to myself. Oh man, great weather, great sunrise. It's really nice when everything just kind of works out on a camp. Super happy with this one. So hopefully you like the video. For my next camp, it'll probably be in a woodland. I actually have a new hammock coming, which I'm really excited about. I've been using the same war bonnet hammock for, I don't know, 4 years now. So I'm excited to try something different. It's a flat lay hammock, which is what I prefer, but I'm really excited for this system because it actually looks like it might even be a flatter lay than my current hammock setup. So for my next camp, I'll be in a woodland, probably testing that out. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Please like, share, get outside. Later.